Hello and welcome to the RG10 Podcast. In this episode, we're diving into one of our region's most precious yet often overlooked natural treasures, the River Loddon. As you're going to hear, it's a unique body of water and home to rare habitats, endangered species, and a surprising amount of history and community action. I've been speaking to Josh Bowes, a Catchment Officer at the South East Rivers Trust. His patch includes the Loddon, so he was the ideal person to reveal what makes the river so special, but also what's threatening it.
The Loddon is one of the tributaries for the Thames. It's not that big of a tributary compared to some of them. It's only about 45 kilometres, and it is a chalk stream. And it has quite a few tributaries, such as the Blackwater, the Lyde, the Whitewater, the Hart, the Bow Brook, the Brook, the Twyford Brook. Chalk streams are quite a rare habitat. There's, I think, roughly 250 worldwide. The majority are in England and France, and I think we have about 85% of them in the UK. So normally, chalk's quite porous, and the water sort of goes into it and doesn't come out. But in specific places, you'll have a gap where the water's forced out and it comes out of a spring, and this comes out as a chalk stream water. This water tends to be of better quality because it's aquifer water, so there's a lot of water under the chalk, and then when this comes out, it's all sort of cleaned and everything, and it just creates sort of a different and more unique habitat than normal river water.
And what are the main threats then facing the River Loddon at the moment?
So I was looking at stats from the Top of the Poops, and in 20...
Top of the Poops? What's that?
Yeah, so it compiles data on how polluted your rivers are.
Wow.
So in 2024, on their website, the Loddon had 128 sewage overflows lasting 1,457 hours, which that's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just all like high amounts of nutrients, phosphates, nitrates, all just going in, human effluent, which is not what is great for a river. No. But yeah, apart from that, we have your normal sort of river dangers such as urbanisation. Basingstoke's got heavily urbanised as a new town, or the source of the Loddon is effectively culverted underneath Basingstoke town centre.
Wow.
And you get all your runoff from whatever people wash out from there. The water can't get absorbed properly. We've got agricultural runoff, especially in our headwaters. There's a lot of physical modification on the Loddon, so mills, your weirs, your channel straightening. There's a river channel called the Cut, and it sort of flows out into Maidenhead. Originally, that used to flow, I'm pretty sure it's into the Twyford Brook, but they've sort of rerouted that, and so now it doesn't flow into the Loddon anymore, and it flows up into Maidenhead Way and comes out there into the Thames. So yeah, we've got loads of modification like that, and invasive species, which we get everywhere. So the four main plant ones you'll get are Himalayan balsam, floating pennywort, Japanese knotweed, and then giant hogweed. Giant hogweed is especially nasty, as you can get third-degree burns, which are then photosensitive for quite a few years. And then we also have signal crayfish, which obviously bring the crayfish plague, and they reduce the habitat for our native crayfish, which is unfortunate because we're quite rare in the Loddon in the fact that on the Bow Brook there is in theory, there's a population of native crayfish, which is getting very rare, especially in the southeast and this close to London. Like, this is the only river I've worked on where we know we've got them.
What other wildlife depend on the Loddon? And is there any other that's unique or of, I guess, particular concern, like the crayfish?
So, particularly in the Loddon, we do have eels and lampreys. So, eels are increasingly getting rarer and rarer. Obviously, they go out to the Sargasso Sea to spawn, and then they come back into our rivers, and they've faced a lot of barriers like weirs.
Sargasso Sea, as in the Caribbean?
Yeah. So no one.
Okay.
They're a bit mystical. If you see it, the European river eel will go out there, they spawn, and no one's really captured how they sort of do it and stuff. And then they come back as a tiny little elvers, and they swim all the way back. and come into our rivers, and then sort of get their way to adulthood, and then eventually go back.
We mentioned all the negative things that are happening there. Can you share any recent projects, that kind of thing, that you're embarking on at the moment, just to try and make things that little bit better?
So in the past few years, obviously at Loddon Rivers Week, we've done things like there's another really rare plant called the Loddon Lily, which is a local icon. It's found on the Loddon. It's like the primary place for it. So Loddon Rivers Week and other groups, we've done Loddon Lily restoration, and community planting has sort of increased it. Down on the St. Patrick's stream, there's the local fishing group down there.
St. Patrick's stream is where, sorry?
So that's right near the end of the Loddon. So around there's the St. Pat's stream, the Loddon, and I think there's another cut bit which all come together. The group of fishermen down there, I believe it's the Twyford Anglers. They've done a lot of river restoration recently through grants they've got. So they've introduced gravel, they've introduced woody debris into their channel. They're allowing their trees to sort of stay in there. They've effectively created this island in the middle of one of their channels. So what they're doing is they're improving it for fish and for other wildlife. They're allowing the river to sort of move in different ways, to erode in different areas, and that sort of changes its course like it naturally would. The gravel creates spawning habitat for barbel, roach, ruds, chub, all your common fish species, possibly even some trout if they've got some. Yeah, and they're making the river a better place. There was the Water Restoration Fund, which has been a bit controversial and came out last year, and then the government almost got rid of it. But we managed to get a project in Wokingham on the Embrick where we're restoring a paleo channel. So originally near the Morrisons in Wees Hill.
I know, yes.
Yeah.
I used to go to Embrook School, I know it well.
Yeah. So you've got the straight concrete to channel through there, but what people don't realise is that that actual river course is still sort of in there. We've been given money to basically reconnect the river course through there, so it'll be more natural again. Unfortunately, that means going through the pond that is in there currently.
Yeah,
but
I remember when that was all built, to be honest. It seemed incredibly high-tech and flash at the time. It goes to show,
Yeah, but we're actually replacing the pond as well. So extra habitats being created. But what I didn't realise was really interesting there is, do you know the bullhead, or otherwise known as the miller's thumb?
It's going to shock you. No, I don't. Where is it? What is it?
It's a tiny little fish.
Oh, I see. It's a fish. I thought it was a place.
No,
okay,
it's a little fish. It's like, obviously, roughly the size of people's thumbs. And it's not the prettiest fish in the world, but I do love them. That's actually a really important site for them along there.
Well, let's talk about Loddon Rivers Week. What is it? How did it come about?
So it's been running since about 2015. It's quite a community-led sort of celebration and initiative, sort of trying to bring lots of events and publicity to different groups and areas of the Loddon. On Sunday, the 28th of September, we have World Rivers Day. This happens every year. It's normally the last weekend or Sunday of September, around there. And so many places, you either do your events like a week before or a week after. So Loddon's Rivers Week, we line it up for that, and we normally do it the week before and finishing on the day.
And what kind of events are planned? Are you doing anything in or around the RG10 area?
So currently planned, these are still to be finalised. We're hoping, working with the Twyford Anglers, to do some potential gravel seeding around there, which is where we add more gravel to the river in certain locations. As mentioned before, this is great for fish spawning and other habitat. And then hopefully, I'm just planning it, we're going to have a guided walk around the rivers as well, because there's some really old and interesting trees, especially some willows around there.
Okay.
So through some local people who know a lot, they should be good.
And why is it important for communities to engage with the River Loddon?
Well, I think it's loving your local river, really, isn't it? It's where people go to be in nature, to relax, to relieve stress, to enjoy themselves. And I think it's a really big part of our communities that have sort of previously in the past been forgotten and sort of abused, but now everyone's realizing that these are like nature's highways, effectively. Or the veins, some people call them. Like, they move sediment and animals from one place to another. We get animals migrate up them, they go down them, and they're just, I think, really important to us and the environment. They're so intertwined with our history that it would be a shame for people to disrespect them.
And is it possible to turn what is less than an ideal situation regarding the River Loddon and other rivers, of course? Can this situation be reversed, do you think? How likely?
I think it depends on what metrics you go by getting reversed, but we're never going to get them to the pristine state they once were. But I think that's the same with everything. There's been too much human interaction now, but we can get them into a place where they're really good and they are doing what they should be, providing great habitat for nature and allowing humans to be there too.
That was Josh Bowes, Catchment Officer at the South East Rivers Trust, and his patch includes the River Loddon. If today's episode has inspired you, why not get involved in Loddon Rivers Week? You can find out how in the episode show notes. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a review and share the podcast. And in the case of this episode, maybe someone who cares about the local environment. Thanks for listening and goodbye.